Good morning, everybody. How are you doing today? Hopefully all right on this gloomy Monday morning. Um, I'm letting individuals in as they arrive, but I figure we have a full schedule, so we'll get started. Welcome. This is the second webinar in our series for the Long-Term Care Workforce Program. So you can see from the agenda, we're just going to do a brief introduction for those of you that are new to this series. And then we're going to introduce our special guests today from the CBOs, the community-based organizations that are partnering with us for these initiatives. First up will be Rochester Works. Then we have representatives from Refugees Helping Refugees. And then finally, we will pass it off to EE Pathways that has a video to share with us. Then we're going to have an opportunity for a Q&A, and then we will be wrapping up. So unfortunately, Catherine Rogala is unable to attend today. So I will take us through the introduction. Just briefly, for those of you that are not aware, this long-term care workforce program is a part of this overarching program called the Transformational Community Care Coordination Program, or as we like to call it, the TC3. It is a combination of two programs, the Complex Care Program that has just finished, which was addressing barriers to discharging patients to nursing homes from the hospital and alleviating that backlog of patients that are in the emergency room. And the second portion, which we are launching currently and it's underway, is the Long-Term Care Workforce Program. This portion of the TC3 is addressing a critical workforce shortage in the long-term care sector. And we're addressing that through career pathway systems involving recruitment, training, and retention activities. And so the focus of this particular webinar is on the recruitment portion. So the program is a collaboration between FLPPS, home health care agencies, skilled nursing facilities, and training partners in the Monroe County area. We're also working, as I mentioned, with community-based organizations to help with recruitment, as well as you'll see, some other services that they're providing. And there also is a focus on minority and women-owned businesses. We'll touch on that a little bit today, and more to come on that in future webinars. So the focus of the career pathway in healthcare that we are going to be looking at is really the nursing pathway, and that's because that's it's really the low-hanging fruit healthcare, as well as in the area of most opportunity, most need right now in long-term care. And that pathway is from CNA to LPN to RN. Although, as we've mentioned in our individual meetings with long-term care organizations, you can even step back a step from CNA and have pipeline positions that go into this nursing pathway. So the focus is obviously on recruiting, retention, providing wraparound supports, mentorship, and other services. So again, this is a collaboration with many organizations, including training organizations, Rochester Works, CBOs, and minority and women-owned. They're going to be connecting job seekers from the community with long-term care employment opportunities, also providing employment and workforce development services, which we'll be getting into in a minute, including career skills training and resume building if necessary. We're also going to be sharing information, including training funding opportunities to support continuing education, training, and certification programs. And with that, I would like to introduce our first speaker today, Viata Carter. She's a career center manager with Rochester Works, which is located in Rochester, which is, of course, in Monroe County. Viata.
Hello, everyone. Once again, I'm Viata Carter from Rochester Works, and I manage the 100 College Avenue location at Rochester, in Monroe County. So go ahead. So we have a couple of locations here at Rochester Works. We have the 100 College Avenue location, which is Suite 200. That's the location that I manage. But we also have the Youth Career Center, which is at 57 St. Paul Street. And we also have a career center at the Department of Human Services building at 691 St. Paul. Our phone number is 585-258-3500. And our hours of operation are Monday through Thursday from 8:30 to 4:30 and Fridays from 8:30 till noon. Staff is here till 2 o'clock. We usually have trainings and professional development opportunities from 12 to 2 for staff. So I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about what we offer. Youth services, we have youth services for ages 14 to 24. And some of the services that they offer for youth are the job search, the career exploration and training, and just life skill supports. Now with the youth, we do have the summer program. Some of you all may have heard about the Summer Youth Employment Program, which is a partnership with the City of Rochester. And that's for youth age 14 to 20. And then from 17 to 24, we have our WIOA Navigator program for youth that may have barriers, okay? And that program is geared towards those individuals. We also have business services with our business service team. Their role is to recruit and work with various businesses in Monroe County to bring those businesses in for customers that come into Rochester Works. So every Thursday from about 10 to noon, we do have businesses that the business services team are working with. And we're not just getting anyone in just to fill up their roster. We're really looking for people, for businesses that have employment. They have open positions. And those are the ones that we work with to bring them in. And as our career advisors continue to work with customers, they do connect them to those businesses. In addition to that, the business service team also have a job board. And there's also some hiring incentives. So if anyone is interested in any of our hiring incentives, I can certainly connect you with Laura Seelman, who is the business service manager. When you do go on our Rochester Works website, you will see a job board on there, okay? And the job board consists of it's similar to Indeed, except it's just exclusive to Rochester. Well, it's our own brand that we've kind of put together. And it's just all various recruitment events or positions that are open in Monroe County. And then for what I do, the Career Center Services, which is the adult services that's offered here at 100 College Avenue. We offer job search, career development. We have special programs like our enhanced recovery services, and I'll talk about that a little later. In addition to our community outreach and our disability resource coordinator services that we offer. And then of course, workshops and e-learning. So the Career Center Services workshops, we offer over 20 different workshops a month. We do have specialized workshops that we offer throughout the month. And so our workshops consist of, career development, job search services, how to negotiate to get a higher paying position, looking at the transferable skills that you have and how do you put that in writing for an employer to see from a different point of view, depending on the occupation that you may be looking for. Talked about the on-site recruiting events that's here every Thursday. We offer a number of assessments. The Work Keys assessment is one of the ones that we do offer, and we do work with the Department of Labor with the Coursera. They're not assessments, trainings that is offered throughout Monroe County. We also have a resource room, which is customers can come and they can do, they can complete their resume, job search. We do have a telephone that they can call. So if they need to call for housing or unemployment, they can feel free to do that. We do have a fax machine that they can also use. And we have a resource of books and magazines. There is not a lending library. They can't take it out, but they can certainly utilize it while they're there. We can certainly make copies for them and so forth. And that goes back to the library of resources that we. Our job search services, we offer job search guidance. So just to kind of give you guys an idea of the process, when a customer comes through our doors, everyone is seen by an advisor. And what the advisor does is the advisor will customize an action plan with that customer. Now, in saying that, we do not case manage our customers on the job search side. We do case manage if they're on the training side. So I'll talk about that a little bit later. But we do not case manage if they're on the job search side. So the goal is really to partner with the customer to get them to wherever it is that they need to be. So if it's finding a job, if it's assisting them in other areas with career guidance, we're able to do those things. But we do kind of leave it up to them for the most part to follow up. So with that customized plan, it could very well be that, you know, they need to attend a resume development lab. They need to attend a couple of workshops. You know, and we will certainly encourage them to continue to do that. But we do not follow up with them to say, did you go? You need to go. We don't do that. It really is based on them to follow through in that. Interview preparation. So we do have mock interviews that we can do here at Rochester Works to help our customers with their interview preparation. Resume development lab, I talked about that a little bit. Job finding clubs. We have one of our job finding club is called Job Strategy Group. That's every Wednesday at 9 o'clock. And that's really driven by customers. We do have staff that kind of manage it to some extent, but customers are the ones that tell us what they want to learn about, how they want to learn it, who they want to bring in, and we work with them to bring in guest speakers and different topics to teach them whatever it is that they're looking to learn. And we also have a 5-step to rapid employment program. It is an intensive, interactive 5-day workshop for highly motivated job seekers. And we do ask that the job seekers have some experience with the computer because there's work that's going to need to be done on the computer. And then the following day in class, it's more of interactive, where you're doing a lot of discussion and so forth and so on. And then with our business service team, the hiring incentive, part of the hiring incentive is on the job training or the work experience program. So we do work with our business services team to connect customers to those opportunities. Career development services. We offer individualized career guidance and exploration through our training team. We do also have grants to pay for training up to $6,000. If you want more information in regards to that, please, let me know in the chat or afterwards. It is a one-time grant that we do make sure customers are aware of it. We can, depending on the occupation, after about 7 or 8 years, look at it again and see if someone may be available, if the funds are available for us to perhaps pay for someone's next career progression. So for an example, if someone comes to us and let's say they go through SLPs for the home health aid, and then after that, they decide they want to be a CNA and they come to us for CNA and we'll pay for that. We do ask that they at least work in the field for a bit of a time. And then if they want to come back to us for, let's say, their LPN or decide they want to go to nursing, we'll only pay 2 years of the nursing school. They can certainly do that. We will definitely take a look at that. We'll take a look at, how they've been doing. We'll take a look at, to some extent, what their grades were like, making sure that they don't have any loans out there that needs to be repaid. And we certainly will, we'll look at their family size and work history and what they have going on. And there is a possibility that we certainly could pay for that LPN training and nursing training, 2 years of the nursing. So I talked a little bit about I'm sorry, go back for a second. The assessment, the work keys, the career readiness credential assessment through ACT. We also offer the career interest assessment, and then Coursera. And we do also have a virtual career exploration, which is through our transfer VR system. It's similar to the Oculus, where customers get an opportunity to put on the headset and they're in a virtual reality world. And they are able to see if that particular occupation is something that they want to do. So, someone can come in and say, I'm interested in doing plumbing, and we will have this option available to them where they'll put it on and they'll kind of go through different things concerning plumbing and see if this is really of interest to them and if this is something that they really want to do. So that's more of a career exploration for them to kind of get a feel for what it would feel like or look like for them to be able to do that type of occupation. So, okay. Special programs and services. We have a community outreach specialist that goes out in the community. His name is Leroy Banks. He is the one, if you've been in any job fairs, career fairs, health fairs in the community, you've probably seen him. He is our representation in the community for the most part. And so he basically, when he's out there, he talks about what Rochester Works does, how we can assist, the community. We've kind of tried to think a little bit of outside the box and kind of getting the word out there that we are still open, and two, that we're here to really assist the community. So he's been to places like RTS, to the public market. He does at the library. He does have some stationary days at like the public libraries. He's there. And in addition to that, particularly at the library, we do have workshops that we also offer at the public libraries too. Disability resources and services, disability resource coordinator, name is Lindsay Murphy. She is our disability specialist. And one of the things she does is she not just works with the Career Center with the adult service, but she also works with youth and also business services in assisting them with anything related to disability. So we have a customer that might need assistive technology to work on the job, or if there's a business that has someone who has become disabled and they're not quite sure how to assist them, or what technology that they might need to be able to do their job. Lindsay's the person who we connect those individuals with, and what she'll do is she'll sit with the customer, she'll sit with the businesses and the supervisor and try to see if she can come up, if they all can kind of come up with a plan of action to make sure that the individual is successful, okay? And then we have the Enhanced Recovery Services, our ERS program. That particular program is geared towards individuals who are recovered from addiction. So it could be gambling, it could be opioids, it could be any type of addiction, and or family members that have been impacted by the addiction of a family member. So that particular program also offers all of the adult services that we offer here at the Career Center, in addition to the training grant. Workshops and e-learning. We offer workshops in person, virtually, and hybrid. And certainly if you go on Rochester Works website, you'll see the list of offerings for our workshop. We do ask for a Rochester Works number. What happens is when a customer comes through our doors and we get them registered, they do get an NY number, okay? So the NY number is a Department of Labor terminology. Not all of our workshops need that, but a good majority of them do. And then there's the e-learning, and then the e-learning, if you go once again on the Rochester Works website, you will see the e-learning registration. It is free. All of our services are free to the community, and also to partner agencies too. So you can go on to e-learning. You will have to create an account, and you can take advantage of any of the e-learning workshops that we do have there. Most of the workshops do require just like a typical e-learning where you review the video and then you take the quiz, and then I believe like a test at the end, but it's fairly a simple process to get started on it. Some of our current offerings of workshops, I already talked about some of them. Interviewing beyond the basics, we have virtual job fairs, mastering the ATS system, which is the applicant tracking system. That is a system, for those who may not be aware, that a lot of HR facilities use to kind of track someone's resume, keywords in their resume to see if that's who they want. So that's what that is really teaching people more about that and how to formulate their resume to be able to attract those keywords in the systems. And negotiating your job offer, workshops on stress management, and also certainly the training grant information session. So who do we serve? City of Rochester, Memorial County, age 14 and up. We serve everyone, so they do not have to have any particular degree or no degree. So we serve people we have served people that have PhDs. We have served individuals that are 83 years old. We have served individuals that have college education or lack thereof. So for appointments, if you would like to schedule an appointment, there is on our website a section where you can schedule an appointment to see a counselor. We do certainly allow walk-ins, but appointments are preferred because we do have staff that still work remote. And so we want to make sure that we have adequate staff here to see customers for the appointments. Our referral process, once again, on our website, there is a section on there for partner. It says partner agency, but you don't have to be a direct partner of Rochester Works to utilize the referral system. And there's also instruction as to how that can be done. What we're trying to avoid is we would get a lot of referrals from customers, and they would come in and say, I was told to come in and I'm not quite sure why, but I'm here. And so then we would have to kind of backtrack to figure out, okay, well, who sent you? Okay, and why are you here? What help do you need? With the referral form, it helps us a lot because we get that form in advance. We are then able to connect an advisor with a customer. They will call the customer, they will ask questions, and then they, set up a day and time that they can come in. So that way, when the customer comes in, we know exactly why they're here. We know exactly the partner agency that has referred them. So we have a question, we can always follow up with them. So we certainly don't want to drop the ball when it comes to customer, and we want to keep that connection with the partner agency so that they know that the person that they send over, actually they come and this is what we did with them and this is how we're going to continue to work with them. Or this, we got this referral form, we did reach out, but this individual said they weren't interested. So we certainly want to make sure that both parties are aware of what's going on with one another. And that's my contact information at the bottom. Viata Carter and Paula Roth is also the assistant manager. So reaching out to either one of us would be good. That's it for me. I don't know if anyone, questions are at the end, so I'll wait.
Thank you so much, Viata. That was very comprehensive, excellent information. I have to say though, I did slide in a slide on the training grant opportunity just because Catherine and I, as we've been meeting with the long-term care organizations, we have been mentioning it. Lee gave us a couple of steps to walk us through it. So I don't know if you want to just kind of talk about this a little bit. We're also giving this information out, like I said, to individuals as we're talking to them about it.
Well, the training grant, they're eligible employees or customers can receive up to $6,000. We do ask that prior to coming in to meet with us, that they attend a training grant information session. So on our e-learning, there is an e-learning training grant information session that they can attend that one. Or if coming in person is better for them, we do have in-person training grant information session that they can attend, okay? And this all has to be done about 5 to 6 weeks prior to the start of their program. We do not pay retroactively, so it certainly needs to be 5 to 6 weeks prior to the training of their program. And there's quite a few. It is a lengthy process for the training grant. That's why we asked for them to start earlier, because there's information that is explained in the training grant that they're going to need. So for an example, when the customer meets with an advisor, with the training advisor, there's obviously paperwork that they get in the training grant workshop that is going to be, that they're going to need to fill out. But at that first interview with the advisor, you know, we're asking them some questions. We're looking at their resume. So they need to have a resume. It does not have to be, you know, a top of the notch resume. We just kind of, for this, we just really want to kind of get an idea where they've worked, where they've been, what exactly is kind of going on. So the resume, in addition to the conversation that they're going to have with the advisor, helps a lot. So for an example, if someone was a CNA, that they've been working as a CNA for a couple of years, and all of a sudden they want to change and go towards being, I don't know, let's say a receptionist. Well, that's completely two different occupations. So we're going to want to find out what's going on. Why is it that they're deciding to move from that occupation to the next? That's where the career guidance comes in, because we want to have those conversations, and we want to make sure that if they're being referred from from an agency, that they're not that the customer is really making the decision to change their occupation and not the agency trying to influence them to make that change. Because once again, this really is a one-time thing, and we want to make sure that they utilize it wisely. So it could very well be that the customer says, you know what, I've been doing CNA for a couple of years. I got hurt on the job. I've been told by my doctor I can no longer do that occupation. So this is something a receptionist, you know, administrative work is what I think that I also have had some experience in, that I think might be good for me to get into. We're going to look at that. We certainly are going to want to get an idea and get something from your doctor stating that you no longer can do this. You can no longer do the CNA job. That justify our reason from not paying for a career path in that occupation, but not going to a completely different occupation. So that's kind of like the conversation that the career advisor is going to be having with them. If we're looking at someone's resume and they have a bachelor's degree or an associate's degree or a master's degree or whatever, you know, we're going to ask them what have they been doing with that degree. So if you sit with me and you have a bachelor's degree, I don't know, let's say in accounting, but you're looking for a degree and you were looking for training in something completely different, we're going to have those conversations. Why? What's going on? Is it, I mean, and if you say to me, well, I've been applying for jobs and I'm not getting in luck in the accounting field, this may not necessarily be a situation where you need to change your occupation. It very well may be a situation where, you know what, you may need interviewing skills. Okay, you may need help in your interviewing skills, or you may need help as far as your resume is concerned. Let's take a look at it. So once again, those are the types of conversation that they're going to have. So, I mean, basically that's it for the training grant. I will encourage all of you to go on our e-learning to review the training grant, to go through it. So at least you have an idea, but if you would prefer to come into the Career Center and sit in the class, that's perfectly fine too. You just need to register. For the training grant information session, you do not need a Rochester Works NY number to attend that, because we understand that people are applying to, they're not going to be meeting with an advisor beforehand. So they do not need to do that. But however, if you have any questions or concerns, or if the customer or you are having a hard time, you know, getting on the site and registering, certainly either reach out to myself or Paula, and we can assist you all with that. So.
Thank you so much for giving us that information.
Okay.
And next, I would like to introduce Andriana Ngoiba, a grant consultant with Refugees Helping Refugees, and Omid Sadat, their new outreach worker. I am going to, Andy, do you have the presentation? Should I make you?
Oh, yeah, I sent it to you. Did you get it?
I did not.
It's okay. I'm going to pull it up right now. Hold on one second.
I'll make you co-host, and you can go ahead and drive it.
Okay, it's going to be just a minute because I don't have it accessible. So we can just introduce ourselves. My name's Andy. You can call me Andy. I am back on staff. I used to be executive director at Refugees Helping Refugees. I stepped down. Now I just manage grants. And I'm excited that we finally brought on Umid. He was a former employee also, so we've done a little shuffling, and now he's going to manage the program. So actually, I have him here because he just came back to RHR a couple of days ago. So he's going to introduce himself, meet all of you, and then I'll go through the presentation. And if he has answers to any questions, we can definitely work together on that section. If you, Christina, I think it's not working. If you go in your email, it was not long before the presentation. I don't know if it came through. Maybe it didn't come through. That could be.
Yeah.
It was like 10:30 or so.
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's loading now. Okay. Yeah, I got it loaded. Okay. It's just slow. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll go ahead and share. It's gonna be faster. Can you see my screen?
Mhm. Yeah,
Yes, we can see.
Is it coming or it's there?
It's good.
it's good.
Okay, so I'm not sure how much time do we have. I can make it as detailed or as broad as you like.
How about just go broad for now, because we also have EE pathways that
Okay.
needs to give an overview, and then hopefully some time for a Q&A at the end.
Okay, so I'm going to focus a little bit on what is a refugee, and just so people understand who it is we're talking about, and I'll talk a little bit about our services and what we offer and how we can work together. So, I'm sorry,
There you
I
go.
want to show as a slideshow. You see it now?
Not as a slideshow.
All right, we'll just leave it as long as you can see it. Can you see it?
We can.
Okay, let's just go with that then. So just to start, so just to be thinking about what are the experiences that you have working with refugees, or if you came as a refugee yourself, what do you think of when you think of a refugee? How does that relate to what you see on the news and the stories about the border and the buses and all of that? So we want to be really clear. A refugee is an immigration status. So somebody coming across without being necessarily invited or having the paperwork on hand is actually not a refugee. They might become eligible for refugee programming in the future. Let's say they get asylum or get another document approved, then they may be qualified as a refugee. But in general, a refugee is an immigration status that's granted by the US, usually before the person comes here. So they're invited to come. So we'll go through a few different types of refugees. And this is important because they will have a work permit. Or if they haven't gotten it yet, will have gotten it before they go apply for work. So it's not the same as the people coming over the border who don't yet have a status. It's very different, although those community members may become refugees in the future if they get a change in status. So first and foremost, refugee is an immigration status. It doesn't have anything to do with education, experience. It's really just what you ended up with on your papers. So you have a work permit by that time. By the time you're a refugee, you're already eligible to work if you're in this program. If not, we'll help you get there. So what does that mean? So our agency was founded by refugees. So it was founded by Somali refugees. The face of the community has changed greatly over the years. And now I would say the majority of our clients come from Afghanistan. So we are responsive and we change staffing and programming to match the needs of the community. I'm going to skip the mission statement, but basically it's an agency for refugees by refugees. I myself am not a refugee, just letting you know.
If I could just interject for a second. Your slideshow doesn't appear to be advancing.
Oh, all right. Let me try something else. I know another way to do it. Let me try another way. Thank you for telling me, because I really didn't know that. How does that look? Can you see yellow?
Yay.
Okay,
Good.
good. I'm sorry. Let me go back a little bit because I had a couple pictures. Well, that's fine. Good enough. These are some of our program statements. Thank you so much for telling me, because I would have just left it frozen and not known. And then you'll be sleeping. All right. So our mission statement is that we're community led. We serve anybody. These are our actual clients, some old clients. We had a few photo sessions taken from all different countries. We don't have actually any barriers to services. So anybody who wants to come in can come in, whether you're a refugee or not, whether you came across the border and you don't have anything yet, or you came through one of the traditional refugee pathways, we'll take you. So anybody you need to refer, feel free. It's walk-in, very low threshold services. If you want to come in, you can come in anytime. These are some of our programs. I'll just let you take a look. No need to read to you. And I'd say the largest programs right now today are this healthcare services workforce development program that we're doing with FLPPS, case management, and ESL. Those are our largest programs today, but again, we're responsive and we change with the community's needs. A little bit about case management. We have several case managers on site. Most of the case management clients come through English as well. We have English, well, that's in flux right now. We have 4 days. We might start picking up some classes in the morning if the clients want to move on to healthcare to make sure they have the right vocabulary. Oasis has been on our site, Rochester City School District's adult education. I think they wrapped up that contract. So starting in fall, we have independent educators now. The speaker series will also restart soon. If any of you would like to come talk with our students or just want to make some inroads into the community, please contact me. I think I'll be the one coordinating that until we bring on some more staff. It's basically a two-way dialogue. So like, let's say Christina wanted to come and talk about the healthcare program. We would set up interpreters, lunch, and it's on site, and also it's in person, which makes a big difference for our community. They really don't respond well to online, if at all. So it's a way to have a two-way dialogue. Like, this is what we offer. Tell me how that feels for you. And you give us feedback. And it's been going on maybe 7 years now. So it's a pretty vibrant program. Health education, we have that. We have students from URMC's medical school. The medical students come, they get some credit. They teach our students different things. We have a youth program. It used to be funded by Rochester Works, actually. We had 2 years of contracts through Rochester Works through WIOA. And we still have the program. It's just not funded under the same umbrella anymore. Workforce development is definitely our most vibrant program. We have the healthcare training now, computer literacy. We've done silk screening. Those are some shirts we made. You can see at the bottom. We have an industrial sewing program, handicrafts, janitorial / business maintenance, environmental, I forgot what they call it, environmental, basically housekeeping, cleaning, things like that they might want to get a job in those fields. Here's a look at our lab, our sewing lab, and some masks they made a few years ago. I don't think any of us want to revisit that. Let's just keep moving. So here's some of our partners, current and former funders and partners, and I know we're missing a lot. You can see here some key ones are CCFCS, that's Catholic Family Center. They updated their name. Catholic Charities Family something services. They are the primary resettlement agency for Rochester, and there's a second one now too, Church World Service. We don't do resettlement, so anything about resettlement, those clients will typically go there and then come to us for supplemental care. Just really quick overview. What is a refugee? There's a conflict, you have to leave. So that's like a lot of people. That covers a lot of people, refugees and not. The ones who end up as refugees generally go in one of these 3 paths, and there could be other paths too. Flee, you end up in a camp. You apply to be a refugee from your camp because you can't stay in that country. So that's like a lot of people who end up in Turkey. They'll come here. They'll get invited by the US to come. They get everything settled before they go. Once they get here, they go through resettlement and we'll help out at some point in their arrival. Second path, flee to the US border. These are the people who are coming across the border. We are getting a lot of those right now. They typically don't have any paperwork and we help them get it. Third path, SIV, those are people who help during the armed conflicts. They help the U.S. government. They help the U.S. military. Some pictures. This is one of the camps, a big one. A few others, just to get a look. So it's a wide range of experiences. So these are camps. This is not what you're going to find from other countries. So Sudan, Somalia, Thailand, Burma, these are all people who came through camps. And these are pretty large portion of our clients. Asylees are people who came across the border. Right now, we're getting a lot of people from Afghanistan. They tried to get out when it was available and couldn't for whatever reason and found another way. So they may have the same needs as other refugees who have status, but they don't have the paperwork yet. So we're helping them with that. Here's some information. A lot of the people from Iraq, Afghanistan are very highly educated, very motivated to work in healthcare or other related fields or unrelated fields. Most of that community already speaks English. So I don't want to speak for that community because I know somebody else is here who can do a better job than I can. So again, there's a lot of diversity in the community. That's all to really keep in mind. Everybody has different needs. Here's some of the countries that are common in Rochester. I made this list. You can take a look at it or not. And a lot of languages. I made this one also. And you'll find a lot of people from Afghanistan, Somalia right now. And that's it. The rest is really in depth. What do people need? And I think we can skip that. So thank you so much for listening. If you have questions, Umid and I can help you, hopefully.
Thank you so much, Andy, for that information and for the great work that you're doing.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
Right. And now I would like to introduce Letitia McCrae. Letitia, I don't know if Dana's on or not with you, but Letitia McCrae is the Director of Operations and Programming at EE Pathways. And they're here to give us some information about the services that they offer. Letitia, do you need me to make you a co-host as well? I think
yes, please, just so I can share my screen. Good morning, everyone. Just real fast, I'm Letitia from EE Pathways. I have a really fast video that kind of gives a quick overview of what it is that we do. So I will go ahead and share that, and then we can discuss, questions during the question and answer session. Thanks.
EE Pathways is a community-based organization that does the work of a non-for-profit, but we are actually a for-profit organization. We're broken down into 3 different sections that help bring all of our services together to the community. Fitness is one area, it's huge. That's our foundation, our bread and butter. And then next would be our community outreach, as well as our bicycling involvement. And then finally, our mental health and substance abuse behavioral services as well. We offer a variety of fitness formats, one being spin, stationary bike. The class is about 45 minutes. It's high impact. It's open to all different levels, and we make it a point to make sure that we make it acceptable to everyone. Another one that we offer, which is very, very popular within our community, is the Silver Sneakers. It is geared towards people who are 55 plus. However, anyone else who wants a lower impact aerobic class, it is, again, available for all levels, and it is a good stepping stone if you were trying to start a new fitness practice. We also offer yoga under our fitness. The yoga is offered both in person as well as virtually. It is open to all levels, again, and broken down based on who is in the classroom. EE Pathways is an MWBE certified organization at the city, state, as well as the federal level. EE Pathways.
Okay, that was just a really quick, brief overview of us. I also have another quick presentation I can share just to walk us through. We are currently working on the home health aid side of this particular project, but I want to give you again just quick presentation to go into a little bit more detail. Again, we're EE Pathways. We recently changed our name from Exercise Express earlier this year. We were founded in 2011. Again, as the video said, we are Black owned. We are MWBE certified. We are for profit. I don't know how many ways and how many times I can say that. We offer a wide range of things. We inspire and energize historically disadvantaged communities to access resources during their physical and mental journey towards happier and healthier lives. That is our vision, our mission, that's our everything. What we are is a community-based organization that offers kind of a holistic approach to health and wellness through our physical fitness, our community outreach, as well as our mental health and behavioral services. We offer fitness. Like I've said a million times, we offer fitness everywhere. We offer that to everyone. So as part of our collaboration with this grant, one of the first things that we make everyone aware of is they have access to all of our fitness classes. So when I come in to talk to the home health aides, we give them our schedule. They know that they have access, again, in person or virtually. We also offer the CDC Diabetes Prevention Program. This is offered a couple times a year. We are also a New York State HARP service provider. So we do both HCBS and core services. If you don't play in this arena, those letters mean nothing to you, but I can explain it all to you if you want to know more. And we are also a provider of effective Black parenting. We can offer it to staff, or we can offer it to actual individuals within the communities. A couple of our community partners right now, FLPPS, as well as Rock with Wish, URMC, House of Mercy is another one. We actually go in there and do fitness classes for their population once a week. JPC, Danforth Towers, United Way are some other partners. And that's essentially Exercise Express in a nutshell.
Thank you so much, Letitia. Again, we've brought some of these community-based organizations just to give you an idea of some of the services that they're offering. EE Pathways is very well networked in the Rochester area with the BIPOC community and individuals in need. So we brought them in as a potential recruiter, not just for the home health aid programs that they've been helping with previously, but certainly for any of the long-term care organizations recruiting needs. The same is true for refugees, helping refugees. We're working with them to recruit into any open positions that you may have available. So please feel free to reach out if you have any if you require any information. And right now I'd like to open it up for questions. I know we've been given a lot of information. The information from Rochester, which we'll be sharing, their contact information, as well as the information about accessing the grant opportunity that they have for employees, the different steps involved with, accessing that webinar to get further information to understand eligibility, things of that nature. Are there any questions for Viata about Rochester Works, Andy or Omid for Refugees Helping Refugees, or for Letitia for EE Pathways? All right, well, if there aren't any questions at this time, I'd like to thank everybody.
Ask a question.
Oh, yes, please.
First of all, hello everyone. It is 11:52. Good morning, and it was a pleasure that I joined with this strong team who are working hard to recreate people in their ideal and favorite jobs to solve their daily or economical problems. And I enjoyed a lot when I just listened to you guys. And by the way, I have a question. I don't know if there is a right place to ask these questions or no. That's why I just recently started a job at refugees, helping refugees. I'm originally from Afghanistan, and I immigrated to the United States in July 11, 2021. I served as a combat U.S. Army interpreter back in Afghanistan, and I immigrated by special immigrant visa to the United States. So I used to work for refugees, helping refugees. Then I started another full-time job. And again, I come here to help the refugees in some fields. The question is here, as I know, as I'm in a very big community of Afghanistan people, I know some of them that they used to be a nurse. In Afghanistan, we didn't have LPN, licensed practical nurse, or RN or SRN. Just we know them as a nurse, that they participated in colleges and they graduated, they have their diploma, everything, and they have experience. They have lots of experiences working in medical fields, and unfortunately, they did not study a course here in the United States to get their LPN or RN license to start a job accordingly. But as I know them, they worked in Afghanistan and they have graduated from that field. I don't know, is there any way that those people come and work in medical works or in medical institutes or medical clinics? Then if I will have an answer, I would really appreciate it. From the day that I came here, like 2 or 3 of my friends called me and told me that I have diploma, I have this, I worked, and I have work experiences, everything is ready. I told them I'm gonna ask from the in charges people. Then that's why it's almost 3 days that I started work here. I'm learning, and then I try my best to work hard in this regard. That's it, thank you.
Thank you so much. That's a fabulous question. And the short answer is yes, we absolutely will find employment for them, and we absolutely want them to continue to come to us for opportunities in healthcare. But it's complicated, right? So I think we'll probably have to take it on a case-by-case basis to see what their experience is, and what where we can best fit them, and based on their experience and their educational background, and how that translates from one country to another. Because I think it does get a little bit complicated, but we can work offline on a case-by-case basis to make sure that we can place these individuals where they best fit, so that they can work at the top of whatever licensure they might have, or work to get them back to where they need to be from an education perspective. I know that was not a very specific answer. I don't know if anybody else on the call has any additional information for Omid. No, but that's a great question. So we will absolutely work together to ensure that we can place all individuals where they need to be. Viata, were you saying something?
Yeah, just that, Omid, Christina's absolutely right. We are certainly going to have to take it on a case-by-case basis, because there's a lot more to consider, and there's a lot more to look into. Here in the United States, you have to have licenses for certain things. And so even one of the things I think we're finding in Rochester Works with individuals from another country who want to work in the same occupation that they were working in their country. And when we work with a lot of the colleges, a lot of what they're asking for is, do they have any papers? Well, a good number of them don't have papers because of the war or so forth, so they weren't able to gather that information. And sometimes, depending on the college, they may allow them to test, to take certain tests. And a lot of times, based on the results of those tests, could very well determine whether they're going to allow them to be in the program or if they're going to need to do some preliminary work, you know, to kind of catch up. So, but it is certainly it is a case by case basis, and it's a lot to consider and a lot to look into for that person.
I think if people have those cases, it would be great to send them to us, to send them to Umid. Umid will take over the program. I was just here until we brought him on, and we can work with them on that. We have quite a few cases like that. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your responses. I really appreciate that. I will work with Andy and with you guys, and I will let you know as well as soon as I will ask people to send me their documents. Then I will share with Andy. We will figure out together. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Are there any other questions?
Yes, I think once I asked regarding the agencies that we need to work with them, like for instance, one is the Jewish Center that you sent me the link regarding filling out an application. I used to be human resources assistant for Lifetime Assistance Company, that they really need LPNs, RN, SRN. I don't know, are they with us regarding this, that we should introduce him LPN or something like that? Or no, they are not under our program to work with them?
No, right now, so we've sent you information for, I believe, about 10 long-term care organizations that FLPPS has currently contracted with. As other contracts come, pardon me, if other organizations come on board and become contracted, I'll send you that information. We're also finalizing a recruiter reference guide, which has all the information for refugees helping refugees, as well as EE Pathways or anybody else that would like to help with recruitment for any of these open positions. They'll give you information about who we've contracted with, what they've outlined their program to look like, who their primary contact is, and more. So, so more information will be coming for you shortly. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you so much.
Of course. All right, and I think we're just about out of time. I want to thank everybody for joining today. Again, this is the second webinar in a series that we're bringing forth for you. We are planning the next webinar to be for either the end of September or potentially the beginning of October. We would like to introduce another women and minority owned organization that we are collaborating with, ABS Consulting Strategies. Anne-Marie Shepard is the owner and CEO of that organization, and she is a fantastic career coach. She offers workshops for pre-employment or skill building types of workshops. So we'll be bringing more information forward on that. So we look forward to that. I will be reaching out to you all for potential dates that might work in your schedule. But as always, we will also send you a link to the recording if you're unable to attend. So thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.
Have a
Bye.
great day. Bye.